Hi, it's Danny, Careers Advisor at C&K Careers. Welcome to today's video, which is all about something called the STAR technique. So what is the STAR technique? Have you ever been in an interview and you've got yourself in a muddle trying to think of an example to back up one of the answers that you've given? Well, the STAR technique is a method of answering interview questions more effectively by giving you a framework for giving concrete examples of your skills, experience and achievements. Interviewers like to ask questions where they want you to give examples of things that you've done in the past. These are called behavioural questions. A good example of this type of question would be something like, have you made a mistake in the past and how did you rectify it? The point of this question is to find out something that you've done, but crucially, what you did to affect the situation. So what does STAR stand for? STAR stands for Situation, Task, Action, Results. And if you follow these 4 steps, it will give you structure to your answers. So now let's look at putting it into practice. Now, this sounds really obvious, but you need to really listen to the question. Look out for clues for the things that they actually want to hear from you. So if you think about the example that I just gave, they're looking for an example of where you overcame a mistake, because that's what they want to hear about. Your answer. First thing you need to do is to describe the event or the situation that you're in. You need to set the scene for the interviewer. This is to give them some kind of context to the example that you're giving. So think about things like where you were working, was it a busy day, or maybe were you working on your own or as part of a group? So the next thing to do is to explain the task you had to complete. This is where you are giving the interviewer an idea of the responsibilities you had with regard to the specific scenario and what objectives you were set. So what jobs did you have to complete? Did you have to complete them in a certain time frame, or who asked you to complete the task? Now it's time to describe the specific actions that you took to complete a task. This is your opportunity to show how you made an impact and did a good job. So think about what you did to make sure you completed the task. How did you solve a problem perhaps? Did you involve other people to make sure that the task was done? Finally, you need to close with the results of your efforts. This is the most important part of your answer and the bit that most people don't add. You need to give concrete and positive outcomes to your actions to prove that you were able to make a difference by what you did. So think about maybe, were you able to hit targets? Did you rectify a mistake? Or did you change the way that you and others work going forward? So let's have a look at an example of how to use the STAR technique. If you remember, the example question I gave earlier was, have you ever made a mistake and how did you rectify it? So here's an answer I could give from my previous experience. I was working on the till in a shop I used to work in, and it was a really busy Saturday. I also had to keep the area I was working in tidy and restocked. Whilst doing these tasks, I failed to notice that there were some customers waiting at the till wanting to pay. As soon as I realised this, I served the customers and apologised for my mistake. When the customer had gone, I changed the way that I was working so that I could always see the till. The result of this meant that I was able to serve all the customers that came to the till that day, whilst also maintaining the standards of my department. So you can see, what I did there was I answered the question by giving a situation that I was in, the task that I was doing and how it went wrong. Then the actions that I took to correct this and the result of that action. So some things to remember. Firstly, there's a really good chance you'll be asked this type of question in an interview, so you need to prepare some answers before you go. Think of things from work, from school, or from anywhere where you can show the effectiveness of your actions. Keep examples short and to the point. If you prepare beforehand, then this should help you avoid waffling and losing your thread. Try to get your points across in a conversational manner, as not to appear scripted. This is really difficult because you want to remember everything, but you really don't want to sound like a robot. The best way to avoid this is to practice beforehand with friends or family. And always be prepared for follow-up questions. If you make something up and it's not a true scenario, you'll soon be found out. So make sure you're honest and you are ready for this. Thanks for watching today. I hope you found it useful. And don't forget to check out the other videos in this series. And as always, check out the website for more information. Bye for now.